Hello, and welcome to the CDO Magazine interview series. I'm Chris Knerr, Chief Digital Officer of Syniti, a world leader in enterprise data software, and we're partnering with CDO Magazine, MIT CDO IQ, and the International Society of Chief Data Officers to bring you this series of interviews with thought leaders in data and analytics. Today, I have the terrific pleasure of speaking with Aravind Jagannathan, who is Chief Data Officer and Vice President of Business Transformation at Freddie Mac Single Family. Welcome, Jag. So nice to have you on the show today.
Really appreciate it, Chris. Thank you.
Absolutely. If I could, I'm always very interested in when I talk to leaders in broadly the financial industries. Can we talk a little bit about data lineage and why data lineage is so important in financial industries? And in part, having done some work in finance myself, there's typically there's a big legacy stack, right? The legacy stack has got to, it's heterogeneous. It's got to coexist with it's like multimodal with all of your new technologies. But at the same time, you've got this very, very rigorous set of controls that have to be put in place. So can you just talk a little bit about the importance of data lineage and how that works in your organization and, maybe how you're addressing some of the challenges of modernization in the heterogeneous ecosystem while maintaining the absolute rigor of those controls, if that's a fair problem statement.
No, fair problem statement, Chris, and you can see why I have gray hair. Because it's definitely not easy, and it's I think a welcome challenge and opportunity, I think, for any CDO to manage. So let me peel that question in the following manner. If I look at a couple of years ago, on Freddie's side, we had basically manual or called fragmented metadata repositories, right? And this is, again, where you think about technology, how it's evolving. It was Excel and it was manual in terms of when I look at a lineage. Where we are today is we've centralized our business glossary and our data-related processes, Lineage, in a tool called Calibra. That's really increased the speed to market and basically improved collaboration within our product teams. Because now, why is Lineage important? Is it's critical for any process. But as you build analytic framework, you need to have that strong Lineage taxonomy to help accelerate the output and provide confidence to users on their analysis that they went to the right place, and that when I think about classification or usage, it's built upon the right manner. And as you touched upon that legacy transformation, that's what we're going through, right? Everyone's talking about the cloud and the benefits, and they're vast. But from a governance standpoint, having everything in one place, being more automated, the compute storage capabilities, we're going through that, I call, transformation effort, going from a corporate data warehouse and I call it an old tech stack to a previous, as folks had data lakes and other technologies, moving that all into our S3 or Amazon bucket. But it's just not a technology compute storage play. We've also tried to really build this ecosystem with components, leveraging Calibra in terms of understanding, as we think for our modernization efforts, lineage, governance, the glossary as the first step as data then needs to move over. So then you avoid potential duplication. You avoid data just coming in. And this is where, as folks have used the terms, you go from a data lake to a data swamp. Yes. And people don't know where to go. And you start seeing other uses where even for BI or analytics, is there different ways of pulling the data through, right? It doesn't mean that everything needs to move over. Can you still leverage some of your existing databases to put that through? But ultimately bringing stuff together, looking at that as a first point and tying to why financial is because, again, I think the information risk in the financial industry is higher than some others. I look at healthcare as also being extremely high. But if you're going to start leveraging for analytics, again, that foundational piece needs to be there. And was proud, last month Calibra announced and honored Freddie Mac as being the data program of the year by bringing all these components together. So was really happy about that because it tied the governance as well as our data mod. And they were really impressed with how we embedded the governance and the Lineage piece into our data mod program.
Interesting. Yeah, I think there's a lot there. I've for a long time I've thought that in a way the fundamental operational challenge related to technology is data interoperability, and I think what sort of sometimes there's this is a simplifying thought, but this idea of like clean water for the tap, right? And in the past, maybe the solution has been like, well, if I build good enough plumbing, it's going to solve everything. But you could have the best plumbing in the world, but if the water isn't clean, it's not going to help you have clean water to cook with and wash your hands.
And that's the luxury. At least I've been fortunate because we have that full gamut, managing the governance and Lineage piece, the plumbing, right, as well as the execution piece. Consequently, I can yell at myself, but you got to bring everyone together to make sure the end results and objectives, because the demand is clearly there in terms of leveraging the cloud for capabilities.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that cloud modernization observation is really key. The other thing to just pull out of what you said that I think is really important is this idea of how you deal with historical data and data tiering. And I've just seen too many organizations where there's sort of this knee-jerk response. And so this is like the house moving metaphor. It's like, well, you're going to move. Do you just take everything, or do you actually go through your stuff and figure out, what can I get rid of? What can I put in storage? What are the things I really care about that I want to move to my new home? And there's just, for some reason that's mysterious to me still, there's just this knee-jerk reaction a lot of the time, like, no, we're bringing everything. And you really, not only do you not need to do that, but it's actually counterproductive because it's a lot of work and it degrades the signal-to-noise ratio on the data that you actually want.
And that's why tied to our data product teams, we're trying our roadmaps, and as I highlighted in terms of organization, our data modernization is parallel to our product teams. So in terms of why do I need to bring it in, it's going to be, there's a clear view as to what capability. So it's not just lift and shift. And
yeah, absolutely. Super. Well, Jag, thank you so much. I really enjoyed our conversation today. There are, for the audience, there are additional interviews that we have at cdomagazine.tech. And thanks so much again for joining me. I hope you have a terrific rest of your day.
Thank you, everybody.